They call it Silent Hill, but I sure am screaming a lot. Welcome to Deep Thoughts About Gaming. I'm Chris Chappell. Silent Hill 2 is back with a brand new remake 25 years after the original release, proving once again the greatest horror is time's relentless march forward. And since the remake is aimed at attracting a new audience who very likely wasn't even born when I was playing the original as a teenager, I'll keep this one nice and spoiler-free, because I want you, the youth, to experience the same night terrors the originals gave me. Yes, 2001 was a simpler time when the original Silent Hill 2 could give us nightmares at a time when the graphic requirements for doing so were much lower. With monsters that tickled our need for nasty nurses and gameplay that left us traumatized for years to come, possibly even being the reason many of us subconsciously fear geometry. But with the remake comes better graphics, nastier nurses, and changes to the gameplay to bring the game into the modern era. There are new areas, old areas have been updated, and the jump scares you memorized as a child have been moved around, so new players and veterans can experience brand new trauma. But that's not all the trauma. Introducing new cutscenes to cry to, new dodge mechanics for those twitchy fingers, new items for completionist tryhards, and even a new cinematic mode for the whole family to enjoy. So you can get rid of all the unnecessary UI. Brace yourself for the psychoanalytical nightmare that awaits you. An experience that is only more terrifying by the change in camera from the original to the new over-the-shoulder third-person perspective, bringing the player closer to the action and making combat quite a bit more intense, especially when one of these beautiful creatures decides to do a grab attack. While the Silent Hill 2 remake has many quality-of-life enhancements and double the playtime as the original, it still stays true to the original. And by that, I mean it will break you down emotionally until you're a sobbing puddle on the floor, making finding the ultimate truth behind this nightmare that much more challenging. Not that it was ever easy to begin with. As Jack Nicholson famously said in A Few Good Men, you can't handle the truth. Because there's a reason all this is happening to James Sunderland. The question is, can he and you face it? Consider Plato's allegory of the cave, a symbolic story representing the individual's path from ignorance to enlightenment, presented in his book, The Republic. In this story, we initially find a group of people bound in a cave. They've lived their whole lives in the cave, and the cave is all they know. They spend their time facing a wall, as it's the only thing they can do, as they watch shadows flicker in front of them. One day, however, one of the prisoners finds his binds loosening, and then falling to his feet. Something like an external force or a call to action or a letter from your dead wife had put him in a position where he now had the option to walk the path towards greater wisdom. However, he still has to take the steps himself. As he turns around, he sees a great fire temporarily blinding him. He looked away until his eyes adjusted to this new reality, and he was finally able to walk around the cave and look into what had been creating the shadows. Around the fire that had hurt him upon first discovery were a series of objects manipulating the prisoners as they made the shadows dance. Think of Blackrock, Vanguard, and State Street, if you're willing to. But the cave has an exit. He walks to it, and for the first time sees the sun. The pain of the fire was but a pale imitation to this ultimate symbol of truth. But even here, his eyes adjusted, and he was able to finally walk outside and see the world. Green grass fields, beautiful trees, and a lake symbolized the realm of the real. Whereupon, looking into the water, the protagonist of this tale sees his reflection, the first time he really sees himself. Enlightenment. The story ends with a man returning to the cave to free his fellow captives. But they respond with hostility. They don't want freedom. They can't handle the truth, demonstrating that part of the fight against the truth is not just from shadowy outside forces, but also from within. Many of the prisoners would prefer to die in their binds. And while it's become a meme to make fun of the NPCs, the sad truth is, we might not be the independent playable characters we think we are. Both Plato's allegory of the cave and the video game Silent Hill 2 explore the theme of truth, focusing on whether individuals truly want to confront reality when it's painful or unsettling. The journey of discovering the truth and the consequences of rejecting or embracing it lies at the heart of both narratives, though they approach the subject in different ways. Plato's allegory offers, in a sense, a sunnier outlook on truth, with the truth being something that the protagonist of the story wishes to share. The sun is ultimately symbolic of the good, with society and our own misalignment with the world being the things that keep us from basking in the light and beauty of the real world. However, when it comes to the truth in Silent Hill 2, maybe the less you know, the better. We can assume James Sunderland isn't eager to divulge his secrets anytime soon, much like you and your browser history, or P. Diddy and his collection of party footage, because maybe some things are just better left buried. Most of the endings of the game result in a much more traumatized Sunderland, willing to put his binds back on and return to living a lie in one way or another. The main two differences in the perspective, then, are the nature of truth. Plato sees it as a necessarily good thing for the individual, all sunshine and rainbows. There might be a few moments of pain as the individual learns to actually face the fire. But for Sunderland, embracing the truth could mean a lifetime of pain. Author Renee Fredrickson, in her book Repressed Memories, A Journey from Sexual Abuse, explains disassociation gets you through a brutal experience, letting your basic survival skills operate unimpeded. Your ability to survive is enhanced as the ability to feel is diminished. All feelings are blocked. You go away. And so from this perspective, unlike Plato's cave, we can see that Sunderland's repression of key spoilers from his past is not a choice to stay in his binds, but a complete physical inability to do otherwise. The truth for Sunderland is not a green field, but much more akin to the other world we see in Silent Hill 2. So why not stay in your cave or your parents' basement? When you have $1.9 trillion in student loan debt, it's better to just not think about it. Hope that that pesky other world doesn't start reaching too deep into our happy little delusions. Delusions which are as easy to uphold as sticking to only one news source, instead of considering that there may be more. Or by spending your life in your aptly named man cave, protected from the horrors of the real world by mommy and daddy's pocket change. Either way, for those of you viewing today, I'd like to ask you to consider the shifting nature of truth and our ability to actually manage it in a real sense. Is James Sunderland making a misstep that we ourselves wouldn't make under the same circumstances? We all have our own personal pyramid head chasing us in the shadows. Maybe Plato was wrong. After all, would you feel more enlightened if you spent all your time aware that an asteroid could whiz at us from deep space at any time and there's nothing we could do about it? Would you really want to live your life considering that the Disney version of love is potentially a marketing gimmick? And when it comes to the mistakes of your past, would you really want to know the true level of damage they've caused? Or is it possible that those binds we blame for keeping us tied down aren't actually what it's doing? Maybe, in a sense, we've never been bound, just content to sit. Anything to avoid Pyramid Head and the unfortunate inevitabilities of life, like taxes, for just one more day. But as Sunderland finds out, the demons of the past have a way of making themselves heard. And until you face them, you remain a cowering little baby, hitting the pause button anytime you hear a creepy sound. You remain a slave to your past sin. And the only way to gain your freedom is to face your fears, keep moving forward, get a little help from some of your friends on the online message boards, and repent of your past mistakes and do what you can to make things right. Thank you for watching Deep Thoughts While Gaming. And remember, who you were yesterday does not have to be who you are today. So strive forward to reach your goal. The secret alien ending. Like Deep Thoughts While Gaming? Support more episodes on patreon.com/gamersunbeaten. Or hit that join button to become a channel member. You'll unlock exclusive emojis, live streams, videos, a Discord server, and trauma. And if psychosexual trauma is your thing, check out this Deep Thoughts While Gaming about Doki Doki Literature Club.